Instructions. I want all of us to work together as a team on creating this little square. We're going to use these chairs and we're going to make a square just like this. All right? Along here, that way, and that way. Don't put any chairs this way. All right? But I need all these chairs that's in the middle to look like a square. And I need y'all to start. Y'all work together. We got 2 minutes. Make a square. Set the chairs up this way, chairs up that way, and the chairs up this way. You all are going to sit in it, but I need a square. And I need y'all to work together as a team. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Remember, no chairs this way, no chairs this way. They need to be straight this way, across that way, and down this way. No, that's not the instruction. Chairs this way, across the back, and down this way. That's right. No chairs in the middle. No chairs in the middle. Y'all got 45 seconds. Hurry up, Jason. Don't drag that chair. Pick it up. 15 seconds. Now everybody's got 30 seconds to sit in your chair.
Why y'all keep putting chairs?
15 seconds. All right. You can leave that one there. Thank you. I have a seat. Give yourselves a hand. You don't appreciate what y'all just did? Give yourselves a hand. All right. Okay. So basically what I just did was I showed you all what leadership looks like. I was the leader. I gave instructions, and you all worked together and look what you did. All right? Today I'm going to be talking about gangs. I got my mic here because I love hearing from the young people, and I'm going to be giving out $5 today for your responses. Now let me say this, we only got 45 minutes, and I promise you, this is going to be worth your while sitting here. We're going to talk. Feel free to ask any questions you want to at the end. Young man, we do that afterwards. Okay? So the first thing I want to ask you all is, why do you think people join gangs? And if you want to respond, you just raise your hand. I'm going to give you the mic so we can hear you. And then we're going to go from there. Why do you think people join gangs? Here you go.
Because they want to belong and they want to fit in somewhere.
Because they want to belong and they want to fit in somewhere. How many agree with that? Okay, thank you. Somebody else want? Okay. Hold on, check. Yep. Why do people join gangs?
To like bully people and do it for the money.
All right. Bully people and do it for the money. How many agree with it? Okay. Why do people join gangs, Jack? Like gangs, bad guys and girls.
Because they want to
Talk up and quiet.
they want to push people and they want to disrespect people and not try to be rude and try to think that cool.
Think they cool, try to bully people, try to disrespect people. All right. Anybody else? Yes. Why do people join gangs?
Because they think it's good.
Because they think it's good. Okay? Does anybody in here know any gang members? And I'm not asking for their names. I just want to know if you know any gang members. Okay? Do you have any gang members in your school? Okay? Now, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You don't have to tell me their name or anything. When you see them, how do they act? Go ahead. You can talk loud, Nick.
Basically, so like, say that we walking in the hallway, they'll like look up and down at us like mad, and like they go to us after school or something.
Really? Okay. Are you scared of them?
A little.
A little bit? Okay, okay. Go ahead. You pass the mic to her.
So they be like trying to pick on us, but they know not to try me because like, yeah.
Okay. They be trying other people though?
Yeah.
What do they do? Like, they just...
They be taking people money,
What?
and they be trying to fight them after school and jumping them.
What grade you in?
I'm in 7th.
She's in 7th grade. Okay. Anybody else? Yep. You get your mic. Go ahead. The question was, the gangs that you know or the members you know, how do they act? Yeah. Talk up on the mic, please.
They like to present themselves as people who have something to prove.
Right.
Someone who's tough, someone who thinks they're like they have something above others, like they present themselves as if they're higher than other people. Or
Okay.
they have something over other people.
Okay. All right. Anybody? Okay. And you all can take notes too. In just a moment, I'm going to share some things with you to take home with you. And also at the end of this camp, I'm going to give some things to give to your parents in terms of gangs. Go ahead.
So he's always trying to fight somebody, and he always ends up losing to whoever he tries to fight.
So you know a particular guy that always tries to fight somebody, keeps losing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Yes.
So it's not like really a gang, it's just like these 3 people in my
Yeah.
class, they're always gathering together and they're always getting in fights.
And you know what that would be called? A gang. They may not have a name, they may not have colors, they may not use different things to identify, like gang signs and things of that nature, but because they're together like that, that's a gang. Okay? Yeah, Heather, go ahead.
It's like this boy inside my class, these 2 boys. They fighted over like something and they never want to give it back.
They never wanted to give it back and it wasn't theirs, right?
Yes,
That's stealing.
It was somebody else. They just steal it without no permission.
Without permission, and that's bad. Okay? Here's my last question before I start telling you a little bit about who I am. How many of you all have been asked to join a gang? Like somebody came to you. Okay. What was the experience like? How'd you handle it? What did they say? How'd you handle it?
Just like being related to them. So it's like, I don't like being put in that situation. But obviously, I told them,
And why did you tell them no?
that's just not me.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Yep. What was your experience?
I said no because I'm a child of God and I don't need like bad spirits in my body, and I said no.
Amen.
Y'all, that's good. I like that.
Amen.
Y'all can clap for y'all. For her, y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay. Yes, sir.
It was with my cousins.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to join them because I don't really like that.
Well, that's good. And you should like it. Okay? All right. So, when we were in our circle this morning and we prayed, I introduced myself as Pastor Rockett. I've been a pastor for 21 years. And I even go on the streets and I preach in bad neighborhoods. I preach in here. We do a lot to help people. But before I was a pastor, I was a gang member and a drug dealer from Chicago. You would never know that unless I told you. Because I don't look like a gang member, do I? Nope. Gray hair, 54 years old. But in my 20s, I was a part of one of the most dangerous gangs in Chicago. How many heard about Chicago? The violence, all the shootings. And let me say this, I want to say this to all of you. It doesn't matter where you come from, because sometimes people try to pull that card like, well, I'm from here, so I'm tougher than you. You don't even have to deal with all that. Gangs are everywhere. Okay? Let me share with you my experience, and then I'm going to present some things to you to show you why you should never, ever join a gang. My experience has been, I grew up in a neighborhood where most of my friends were in gangs, much like in California. Like in California, the Bloods and the Crips, their grandmothers, their uncles, their aunties, their cousins are in gangs, and so even as young as 6 years old, they started introducing the gang life to the young people. And the reason why I joined the gang is because I wanted to fit in. All of my friends were gang members, and I used to see them throwing up gang signs and having gang meetings. There were literally meetings every week with our gang leader to tell us what we need to do to hurt people, to sell drugs, and to stay together as one. Our colors were red. Our hats, if you wore a hat, you tilt your hat to the left side, never to the right side. You know how today in Georgia, people just wear their hats any old kind of way? Well, you couldn't do that in Chicago. If you came to my neighborhood with your hat to the right, or if you wore blue, you were going to get hurt real bad. And guess what we used to do in Chicago? And I'm just trying to share the story, but I'm not going to end with all this bad news. I got some good news to share with you here in just a moment. If someone crossed our territory, some people would get kidnapped. And in Chicago, they had these bridges, and you see that white little beam right here? They would tie people up to that. They would torture them. They would burn their fingers, burn their knees, and then they would shoot them in the head. And this is the life that I lived. And here's the thing, my mother didn't know it. Because at the time, my mother moved here to Georgia for her job, but I was back home in Chicago with my so-called friends. Well, the gang activities started turning me into selling drugs. So guess what I'm doing now? I'm selling crack, poisoning people. I had my own crack house, and I would see people come in and out, and they would give me money, and I would give them drugs. And if they didn't pay me, they were going to get hurt some kind of way. This is the kind of life that I lived. But you all wouldn't know that if I didn't tell you, because I don't look like that. When it comes to violence, I have seen people get shot in the face. I've seen people get beat up so bad that they ended up in the hospital. And guess what I had to do? I would be considered an enforcer. Somebody say enforcer. Here's what an enforcer is. Now, I'm a big guy, but when I was younger, I was more muscular and I was big. And so when we would have our gang meetings every Friday at 7 o'clock, and you better not be late, our head gang member would gather us all in a circle, just like this. And if somebody in our gang did something that they weren't supposed to do, it was time for them to get locked up. Somebody say locked up. Let me tell you what lockup means. Come here, please. So one day, now keep in mind, the story I'm telling you now, I was 19 years old, but there was a young man in our gang, and guess how old he was? 13. But guess what he did? When he was out on the streets, he was talking about his own gang members to the other gang. So the gang leader found out what he did. And in our meeting at 7 o'clock, he told us it's time to lock him up. Somebody say lock him up.
Lock him up.
Here's what lock up means. We would take him in a dark room. 4 of the biggest gang members would go into that room with him and hold your hand up. We would hold him up like this. You see this? This is called lock up. And guess what we would do?
Beat him up.
We would start beating him up until the leader said stop. I was 19, he was 13. Isn't that bullying?
Yes. Yes.
4 big guys locking up you can have a seat, locking up a 13-year-old. Now, what do you think that done to that 13-year-old? Talk up. He was hurt.
Angry.
He was angry. And guess what? Go ahead. He was tortured and he was afraid. Because he knew if you said anything else about your gang to somebody else, you know what's going to happen. Last bad story I'm going to tell you about my gang life. The last incident that happened to me, I was with my gang members, and we went to a store. And there was a guy that walked past my car. Now, in Chicago, you just don't speak to everybody. You know, like out here in Georgia, for those that have been there, people are nice. They say, hey, how you doing? Well, in Chicago, you don't stare at people, and you don't speak to people if you don't know them. That's the mindset of a gang member. So we parked at this store, and this man walked across in front of my car, and guess what he was doing, y'all? He was staring in the car. 4 of us were in my car, and this man walks by my car staring. So my gang leader, who was in the back seat, said, roll your window down. I rolled my window down, and I asked the man the question. I said, why are you staring in our truck, in the car? He said, I'm staring because you're staring at me. And the next thing you know, my friend in the back pulls out a gun and shoots him 6 times in the stomach. Okay? That's real gang life. And I'm about to warn you and show you why you should never, ever join a gang. I'm gonna show you pictures of why you should never, ever join a gang. First of all, it's not cool. Sometimes young people, we look at certain people and they look like they're cool and they got it going on. No, don't fall for that. Gang life is dangerous. I had to walk around every day with a gun because I didn't know who was coming after me. Who would want to live like that? I mean, you got to wake up on the way, wherever you're going, looking around your shoulder, trying to figure out who's going to get you. That's fear. So, number 1. In order to avoid gangs, and I'm going to show this to everybody, every last one of you precious children need direction in your life. What is this? What does this look like to you? What are those 4 images? No, what are those? Arrows? You see how these arrows are going in different directions? You need direction in your lives. What does that mean? That means that you need someone to help guide you in your young life. Because there are so many directions to go into. You look at this photo, some directions you go to the left, some go to the right, some go up, some go down. And the people that you deal with are trying to take you in different directions. Y'all see this? So you need direction. Young people, let me share something with you. You're not old enough yet to make certain decisions. So you need somebody to direct you. And why do you need guidance? To help correct you. Let me tell you what this means. Everybody that's human makes mistakes. When you make mistakes, you need someone to correct you. Don't Don't be mad when your loving family members or friends correct you the right way. It's to help you. Because guess what? If you think you don't need direction or guidance, you will fall for anything. Let me ask you all the questions. Remember just 10 minutes ago, I asked you all to make this square and you all did it? Was that negative or positive? It was positive. Why? Because it showed teamwork. It showed you know how to follow directions. But I want to ask you a question. If somebody asked you to do something bad, hold on, Jay. How many have failed for that sometimes? Some of your friends, they asked you or suggested that you do something. How many of you have done something that you shouldn't have done? Don't be ashamed.
Everybody has.
Yes.
I mean, come on,
I
y'all.
know I have.
You ain't gonna fool me.
I know I have.
I already know.
Keep it real.
Yes.
Here's what I'm teaching you. In order to avoid the gang life, you need to know this about yourself. I need somebody to help guide me in my life, and I need somebody to help correct me in my life, because this is going to help me in my life. Here's the thing. The question is, who is going to help direct you and correct you? You see this picture here? What do you see here? What do you see when you look at this picture? Just tell me what you think, what you see. You see children, you see grown-ups, you see different sizes, right? All right? When you see this, what do you see? Different people, right? All right? What about you? What do you see in this photo here? Different people. Can we all agree that we see different people? Right? Different people. So who are the people that you need to be directed by? First of all, you need guidance from people who love you. I want to let y'all in on a little secret. All your so-called friends at school don't love you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell y'all that? Some of them act like they love you. But if they're encouraging you to do things that are dangerous,
Then
they don't love you.
you.
Let me give you an example. If we had a pool of alligators out here, and I said, okay, young people, just like how y'all set up the chairs of my instructors, jump in the pool of alligators, how many of y'all would do it? Why? Because it's dangerous. This picture here of these different people with different colors represent people in your life that want to help you. Like your parents, some of your relatives, your brothers and sisters, some of your leaders in your community. These are individuals that want to help you. And guess what? I want to help you. And I'm a part of this group. But there's another group. There's another group I need to warn you about.
Yes, yes.
Read this for me.
Beware.
Read the whole thing so they can hear you from top to bottom.
Warning, beware of bad people.
Thank you. Warning. Beware of bad people. Who are the bad people that I'm talking about today? Gang members. Let me make it very clear. They're all bad. The reason why I joined the gang, I wasn't thinking about the drugs and all that. I just wanted to be a part of something. Well, wait a minute. I had a family. Wait a minute. I had other friends. Wait a minute. I played sports. So I had teammates that were heading in the right direction. Yes, Jason.
Gang members don't show effort. They just want to be rude to people, sell drugs, and they want to do bad things.
That's right. They show no effort to help. They just want to do bad things and hurt people. So let's say this together. Warning.
Warning.
Beware
Of
of bad if I listen to bad people, gang members, and if I follow gang members, what can happen to me?
You could get locked up.
What does that say? The 2 words on that yellow tape there. Crime scene. Have you all ever watched the news before and a crime took place and they put this yellow tape out that says crime scene? Guess what happens when you hang with gang members? You are eventually going to commit a crime. And I'm sure if you all watch the news, you've heard about little babies getting killed. You've heard about children, 5, 6, 7 years old getting killed because of stray bullets. And guess who some of those shooters were? Gang members. Mm-hmm. And you saw this tape. Crime scene. Warning. Do not follow bad people. Who are the bad people I'm talking about? Gang members.
Gang members.
What else could happen, Pastor Rockett? You see this lady here? I'm just going to walk around and show it to you. That's the same lady, a before and after. You see this lady? Do both pictures look different? The same lady. While I'm walking around, this lady that I'm showing you all is showing a before and after picture of when she wasn't on drugs, and then an after picture when she started taking drugs or using them. And let me tell y'all something. You better stay away from the weed. Stay away from the weed. Stay away from pills.
Yes, yes.
Stay away from all that.
The vape.
You see this? Yeah, vape, smoking, alcohol. Stay away. You see that lady's face?
Edibles, hookah.
Yeah, all of that. Edibles and everything. Stay away, because guess what? When you hang around bad people, most likely you're going to involve yourself in some type of drug. This lady here was on fentanyl. That's a drug. And what it did was, for you all to see, it put sores in her face. So warning, stay away from bad people. What else can happen to you? You can get locked up in jail. And let me tell you something, jail is not a playground. And let me tell you what a lot of gang members do. There are some tough gang members, but then there's some gang members who think they're tough. And they try to put on like they're this hard guy. But I promise you this one thing, if they end up in jail, they're going to be crying like a little baby. Because guess what? You're no longer controlling anything. They're controlling you. And you got to defend possibly your life every day. Yes, Jay. Edibles is a drug. I just put it like that. See that? Jail. It's a dangerous place. There are people in jail who look to beat up and hurt other people. They make knives out of forks and all kind of things. They try to control you. You have to go in your cell at a certain time. You can leave at a certain time, but you got to go back in there. You don't eat what you want to eat. And guess what? When you spend years and years in prison, guess who you're away from? Let me show you who you're away from. Your family. Remember these people who love you? Oh, they'll come visit you. They'll call you on the phone when you're able to talk, but guess what? The freedom you have now, it'll be none of that. Texting and whatever you're doing on social media, it'll be none of that. And guess what? You'll have one piece of clothing that's orange or pink for women. Let me get the mic. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and talk.
Have you ever been to prison?
Never been to prison. I did a lot of bad things, but I never got caught. But let me tell you how I got caught another way. When I moved here from Chicago, I was like, okay, I'm done with the gang life. But how many know just because you move somewhere doesn't mean that your mind changes?
Say that.
Because guess what happened when I came to Georgia? Here's the first thing in my mind. Here's what I was thinking when I came to Georgia. I'm this hard dude from the city. I'm coming into the country. These little country folk don't know what they talking about. They better not come at me. And guess what happened to me? I got stabbed. I got stabbed.
Yep.
A guy was chasing me, and I'm not trying to blow up the whole story, but for the sake of just example, I was running from this guy, and guess what? I slipped and fell. Have you ever seen a movie where somebody was running and they slipped and fell?
Yeah.
That was me. And the guy came behind me with a knife, and he tried to stab me up my rib cage in my back, but he stabbed me in my leg area. And guess what? I got up and started running, and y'all, I fell again. And I ended up in the hospital.
Praise God. But God.
Hold on. So, I never went to jail because I never got caught. But I almost lost my life if that guy had his way with that knife. Okay? Yes, Jay.
Go to heaven.
Huh?
Could you go to heaven?
I'm not going to heaven yet. I got to finish my work here for the Lord. All right. So, can I throw this up again before I give us the next picture? Warning.
Beware of bad people.
Beware of bad people. Okay?
Jay.
We move on. So we talked about jail. And I want to show you something else that could possibly happen to you. What is this here? Just say it out loud. We see the crime scene, but what else do you see? I'm gonna walk around and see if somebody can figure it out. A dead body, right? On the ground, covered in a white blanket at a crime scene. See that? That's what gang members do to each other. That's a dead body.
This is why you should never, ever join a gang.
Warning, do not follow bad people. Now, somebody can say, well, Pastor Rockett, I don't want to be in a gang, but I just want to hang around. Well, let me warn you. When the other gang sees you, you are a part of that gang thereafter. And guess what? Death doesn't only come to older people.
That's right.
And y'all know that. It's a dead body. All right, here's the last piece. Let's talk about the good things now. Can we do that? So, Pastor Rockett, you have shared with me about the dangers of gang life, and all of that's real. So how should I live my life? Well, can you read this one sentence for me out loud, please?
Live your life by helping others.
Live your life by helping others. Young man, in this picture here, what do you see? Explain to us or describe to us what you see, how this person is helping this person.
Someone's helping someone else climb a mountain.
Somebody's helping somebody climb a mountain. What is the danger of that person on the edge? What could possibly happen to them?
Them falling and dying.
Them falling and dying. But this person who's helping them is willing to make sure that they don't die, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Live the rest of your life helping others. The reason why I asked you all to come up front earlier when we started and to work together as teams to set these chairs up, guess what you all were doing? Helping others. All of you have gifts and talents and strengths to help other people. Well, Pastor Rockett, what if some of my friends or relatives are in gangs? How can I help them? You can help them by showing a different way of living. Live to help others.
If you don't help others, you'll eventually lead to that.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, all of us will help. Oh, you're talking about the picture. Yeah. If this person didn't help this individual get off the cliff, they would have died. All right? So here's how I'm going to end this. Since I'm no longer that bad guy anymore, and let me tell you what happened to me, and then I'm going to end this. We got 5 minutes. When I was involved in that drive-by shooting that I shared with you all, I was living with my aunt in Chicago, and I went downstairs in her basement and I started praying. And I said, Lord, if you get me out of this, I will live for you for the rest of my life. And I'm talking about Jesus. Well, I moved from Chicago to Georgia, and I told you about me getting stabbed, so guess what? I was still trying to be hard. But one day, I surrendered my life to Jesus Christ. And guess what? My journey in helping others began. Yeah. Y'all can clap on that. Yeah. I was no longer poisoning people. I was no longer hurting people. I was no longer hurting my family. But can I show y'all what God has done in me now? How should we live? What should we be doing?
Helping others.
I can't hear y'all.
Helping others.
Helping others. Well, since I've been following Jesus Christ, and I've been following him for over 20 years, he has blessed me to write a book. This is my first published book. This book is called Secret Codes for Servants. What is this book for? What is this book about? Well, as Christians, as followers of Christ, sometimes we face dangerous times, hard times. And this book encourages Christians that when you're facing hard times, Jesus Christ will always be there to help you through it. So I wanted to use this book to do what?
Help
others. Now think about it. If I continued in that gang life, do you think I would have ever reached this, writing a book? No. Because I would have been what? Either two places. Number one, what? Jail. Or number two? Dead. This is my first book. Secret Codes for Servants. Because I want to help others. What else did God do in my life? I've got the certificate here, and it's from a senior citizens facility where the elderly live there, and they thanked me for spending time with our senior citizens, those who are 70 years old and older. Guess what I would do? I would go down there, and I would spend time with them. I would sing songs. God gifted me to sing. Some of you all can sing. Some of you all can play instruments. I heard that earlier. Some of you all are just so smart and so gifted and talented. Use what you have to do what? Help others. So I was able to help this older group of individuals who needed attention. But guess what else? Since I love helping others, this is a picture of our food pantry here. Guess how many families we feed every Friday? Somebody just take a guess.
2,000.
I wish. We feed 500 families every Friday between 1:30 and 6:30 p.m. That's just the people showing up. So let's do some math here. If we have 500 people, I want to see who's going to get this. And whoever gets this, I'm going to give them a $5 gift. Get your math caps on. So if 500 people show up in here every Friday to receive food, and each one of those 500 have 4 people in their house, how many people did we feed? Go ahead. What'd you say? 20,000? What is it? Nope, not 20,000. 2,000. Y'all give her a hand. She got it. She got it. You get 2 of these today. All right? So guess what I'm helping do? Families who can't afford food in their homes, we're giving it to them for free. Guess what? We just been a blessing to them. So guess what we're doing? Helping others. Let me show you another picture. You see this picture here? Not only do I help people in the United States, but I go to different countries helping people. And this past, when did I go? July? No. June. I went to the Dominican Republic. And you see all these children? They needed food, they needed clothing, they needed shoes. And guess what? I got on a plane and I flew to the Dominican Republic. And guess what? I was able to do what?
Help others.
Look at these children. Look at them. Now, if I was still in the gang, nope. And you know what would have happened to me? I would have been locked up in jail regretting what I did. Now, let me say this to you. My encouragement to you is to never go that way. But I also want to say this. Sometimes people make the wrong decision, but that doesn't mean that their life is over. Let me make that clear. Okay. Yes, Jason. I can't hear you, sir. Yes, Jason. Jason helps out at the food pantry too. How old are you, Jason? 7. And he's helping out at the food pantry. Give Jason a hand, y'all. So he's learning how to help others. All right? And this last piece here, this is what you would call a resume. Somebody say resume.
Resume.
I own my own cleaning company. So guess what I'm doing, you all? I'm helping others. How am I helping others? I clean buildings. Also, I give people jobs. And one of the excuses of some gang members is the reason why I'm in the gang because I can't find no work. That's a lie. It's not true. Don't be lazy. Some of you all today, even in this room, have the ability to be a business owner. You have ideas. Follow those dreams. And as we close, are there any questions for me? Yes.
Would you hire me on that?
Would I hire you on that? Yes, I would. But if you were 18 and older, I sure would. Because you are gifted, you have the potential, and you're very smart. I sure would hire you. Yes.
But why did you go travel to a plane? Did you waste all of your money?
Okay. So, when you're going to help people, you never call it wasting money. And we had the money enough to take the trip to go to help these people. And this is what God does. When you're helping people, he'll make sure you have everything you need to help people.
That's right.
Got it? Any other questions, comments, anything? Yes?
Did you give any of them tables?
Table. I didn't give them tables, but the things we provided for them were on tables because tables are very important. Wouldn't you agree? Yes.
Remember that time when Jesus Christ spread everything on the table for the people who didn't have nothing to eat?
That's right. Jesus fed the 5,000. That's right, Jason. Amen. Thank you all so much. I hope you learned something today. All right? What is something you learned? I want to hear from every one of you. I'm just raise your hand, and when you say something, you don't have to say. What did you learn today?
Don't follow bad people.
Don't follow bad people. Yes.
Wait, if you don't mind, I'm
Yes, ma'am.
supposed to write down 3 points.
Okay.
So you ask them, they give you one of the points.
Okay, gotcha.
That they wrote in their journal. They was posted in journal.
Okay, so y'all got the instructions. I'm gonna pass the mic down. You need to explain to us 1 point that you wrote in your journal.
And if you don't have your points, please go ahead and write them.
What do you remember from what I just shared?
Listen to others. It can give you some points if you don't remember.
Why not you? Okay. What did you learn? How to help others. Okay. How to help people. All right. Thank you. You can get you killed or even hurt. That's right.
Give your life to God.
Give your life to God. That's right.
Beware of bad people who don't love you.
Beware of bad people who don't love you. Families are important. That's good.
You need someone to guide you because everyone makes mistakes.
That's right.
That's good.
Surround yourself with people who guide you on the path.
All the right people. Surround yourself.
Make good decisions and surround yourself by good people.
That's right.
You need direction in your life.
Yes. All right.
Everybody that you call your friend is not your friend.
That's right.
Very good.
Live the rest of your life helping others.
All right.
Don't join gangs, you who you are, or you will end up in jail or in heaven. Help others so they can do the same. Don't follow bad instructions.
Don't follow bad instructions.
Do the things that are right.
All right, thank you all. Give yourselves a hand. You did a great job today. You guys were paying attention. You responded. And I just hope that something that I said today will help you because life is real, danger is real, but also goodness is real. And God created you for Him so that you can do what He's called you to do. All right? Thank you.
All right, guys, give Pastor Rockett a hand. That was a great testament to what God can do, and not only to what God can do, but what you can do when you put your mind to do something, and when you also make a decision that you're going to stay on the right path and that you're going to listen. One of my favorite mottos that I tell my students at school is listening and following instructions is the key to success in anything that you do in life. Because any way that you're going to be successful, it calls for you to follow the rules and to listen, right? All right.